And we are back. This is now race 14 of the World Super Touring Championship. And back in daylight, we are awake, honest, for the second event of the day. It's race 2, therefore 10th place is on pole, and therefore the grid is reversed up until P10, where Wittmann is now 10th on the grid. So that means Fisichella, by coincidence, we did ask, they were laughing that off. It could be perceived as a deliberate ploy that Fisichella was 10th to get pole. You'd have to be thinking 4D chess levels of tactical nous on that. The points are just not good enough for P10 Michael Swinnerton, to try and play that by, isn't it? There's no way that could be deliberate.
No, as I said during race 1, I think Fisichella just got caught up in all the traffic that was, because there was a big block of cars around that position. So I think Fisichella just got lucky there.
So with the fastest lap in the early days of race 1, let's see if he does that for race 2, or is Lambert's going to nab that one once again. Off they go. It's going to be a front-wheel drive departure, but the midfield front rear-wheel drive runners are going to be hounding the mid-pack there. You'll see, there we go, there's Wittmann down the inside, and there's Wickens up to 4th, having done so well in race 1. Palou did fall back outside the top 10, and therefore is already back into the clutches of the tail of the field. Through the twisty section we go, not far from the start line. They were very well behaved in the opening early hours of race 1. Now the sunshine is beaming down through the tunnels as well. Let's see how they behave this time by. Thompson 6th. You can see Suarez down to 8th as Nicky Lammers gets one over on him. Wittmann up to 9th. Dumas 3rd. Webber 2nd. Fisichella still stronghold and whole shot into turn 1, and the rest of the lap about to be completed.
Very well behaved by the whole field there.
Did BMW find a tweak? They weren't. I mean, we've been so used to seeing how well they've been doing this season. Is this a bit? Second place can't be a slump, can it? Really?
No, I mean this is
pack as well.
BMW's MO, isn't it? They're quick, but they're not necessarily race-winning quick. They just happen to have the consistency, which is why they're doing so well in the points.
Yeah, manufacturer lead, and also Webber about to take the lead here, whilst being in the lead of the championship. But Fisichella might have an answer to that, or maybe not. Webber leads. Lap 2.
Took him no time at all, did it?
So Dumas still 3rd, Salo 4th, Wickens and Thompson. So Ford still being very well represented here. You can see there was a brief glimpse of the Tamiya Hondas, the last year's factory cars. Wittmann up to 11th, Palou, Rydell, Ide, Toyota and Renault's, it's not their best days today. Ford are doing better, still propping up the manufacturer championship. On board, Wickens. And whilst Ford prop up the manufacturer championship, 3M are still struggling, last of the privateer teams. But this should be very useful points, not only for Wickens but for 3M themselves.
I think given their last race results alone, I think they might have at least doubled their constructors' points.
So first flying lap. Webber already getting that in, but are any of this lot gonna throw a surprise there?
Maybe. Sabine Wittmann having deja vu all over again, struggling to get around a Volkswagen in front of her.
But obviously for less points this time by, but it is Nico Wirtz. Dame driver.
She's done it once, she can do it again.
On a hotter stretch of tarmac though than earlier. This is where I think the risks are going to have to be hard as Schneider round the outside.
It's an interesting idea.
Did we not see that? It definitely worked. Wirtz though already lost a bit of grip then. That's a bit of a questionable one, because Wittmann
is about to go around the outside of him by the looks of things, unless Wirtz can get the power down here, which he does. Once again, that Golf being a little bit wobbly through the corners.
It's still early I'm pretty sure it's still early for me, because I might have seen something that didn't actually happen, but we'll put
Schneider
that
had a look. Schneider had a look at Lammers around the outside of the corner, but it was nothing more than a look.
Right, sorry. So Webber, having got the lead, Fisichella now
keeping him honest,
strategically placed, as is Dumas. Fisichella with a bit of alpha power, bit of Italian.
Goes right up the inside. He's going
to
make the move stick before they even get to turn one. Look,
and the lead is back in Italian hands.
Although Webber's still alongside, he's going to better run out the corner. Going too wide through this next complex is not advised.
This is the right territory for a German-Italian battle as well.
The grass with Fisichella, but he kept it going. He kept it straight. But he's now got Dumas on his inside. He's completely out of position.
The right territory for Franco-German-Italian battling here in Switzerland, no doubt. Maybe not your factory overlords in the DHL team.
Yeah, we know that team has speed and knows how to win races with what Webber did originally, back when they had an M2 to race.
Dumas threatened that as well last season in the BMW. It was a bit of a shock that they went to Alpha, but they saw how good the performance of that car was and bought in, no doubt. Salo, though, look at this.
Where have you come from? Well, we know Marcus Salo has a lot of experience with rallycross, so he's got insane amounts of car control.
The undulation replicates it, but the tarmac maybe doesn't.
Possible. He's just not really had a chance to show what he can do in that car yet.
And this is the closest he's been to trees since rallying, by the looks of it as well. Now,
maybe that's helping. Maybe it's all the pine air.
Fisichella again.
Same move, trying to try and make it stick this time, but nope, that was even less of an effort. This time, don't clip the grass, so you don't have to defend from Dumas.
And once that's happened, Nico Wirtz has got the fastest lap in, but he's in traffic now. Only half a second faster than Fisichella's first flying lap. You can see it on the timing board right there, on the right hand side of the screen. On the left, you'll see Wirtz's fastest lap. Webber, Fisichella, Dumas, Salo, Wiggins. That's your top five. The Crocodile is going far back as 18th right now, with a bit of a gap there.
Both Hondas looking pretty racy on the cars in front of them. And at some point, Lammer's got in front of Schneider. Missed that.
It's 10th, Wittmann 11th. That's still as it is. Kamish was kind of there or thereabouts in race one. It's more a case of he should have done better last season. This is better, even if it is a privateer outfit.
I mean, it's in the points, which is, as a privateer, what you hope for. I mean, speaking from experience, as a privateer, it's what you hope for. Top 10s are wonderful.
Anything above that is a pipe dream, especially at Brands Hatch Indy. We'll say no more about that. Fisichella down the inside.
That's more like it. That's going to have the move stuck. There you go.
And Dumas too far back to get a glimpse of P2. And that's a bit more of a spread now.
Question is, does Webber have anything for a counter-attack?
If it is, it's not through this twisty section. And Wittmann with the fastest lap now. those two in 10th and 11th trading that fastest lap then.
Must be pushing each other down the straights.
Speaking of pushing.
Oh, Webber! Trying the Whitman move.
And still there, almost, but the door...
Bonk. Clip the wall
had to
slightly there,
lift
that's
there.
not going to help.
Thankfully that barrier is there, otherwise it's tunnel support or river for that BMW. And there goes Salo. Is the move on? Ford have got their power down. This was slowly lacking in every other race. I think it's the straight line effort that's helped them this weekend then. Suarez still 6th, Thompson and Lammers. Decent points haul for Honda. But they're still propping up BMW's lead.
Here comes Suarez, he wants 5th place off of Wickens.
If it doesn't happen there, it's going to happen on the other side of the circuit. But not if Thompson has any say in that matter as well. He was close to it.
Suarez needs to be careful not to mess up an overtaking attempt, lest he be overtaken himself. But then also same applies for Thompson with Nicky Lammers behind and Schneider. They're all right there.
Was that a bump?
A very, very light one perhaps.
Very close. Hertz and Mittman still there. Just saw a glimpse of them. Bit of Camish as well. 3M's in close vicinity. Being a privateer bookend for the factory cars you see inside right now. Weber, Dumas still your top 3. Wittmann still with the fastest lap. Almost halfway through.
Aside from the 2 leaders, everyone else is just sort of so slightly spread out and just kind of doing their own thing at the minute.
Yeah, definitely not going to happen this time. By there's too much of a spread in the top 3. Salo was threatening that earlier. That seemed to have gone within the last half a lap. Suarez though, this is where it should happen then. It didn't happen earlier. Okay, maybe
Once
not.
again, the lack of braking power in that Volkswagen was evident because you saw he jumped onto the brakes before Wickens' brake lights came on there. He's still right there. He's still definitely filling the rear view mirrors.
No one else has managed to break Wittmann's lap. Suarez is still half a second behind that personal best from the defending champion. Not Toyota's day, but still points, still keeping them in the game.
A singular point for Kazuki Ide is not really what they want to be looking at. This may solidify their decision regarding what they're going to do with this car for moving forwards.
Despite some outside of the box thinking, bringing not an internationally known quantity in that Crown Athlete, the Corolla would have been a better option. That was the discourse of rumour that was going to be the next car, but that might not even be a next car at all if this is anything to go by.
Yeah, the current where they're currently at loggerheads with each other is that Toyota wants to run the GR Corolla, which of course is a 4-wheel drive model, and the rules would state
it's not allowed.
Yeah, the rules state you have to run the drivetrain as the car is sold in the showroom, but it doesn't allow for 4-wheel drive models, so yeah, there is an impasse going on there, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon, sadly.
And if anything, there's a can of worms there. If you get a 4-wheel drive car in, That's what's to stop the likes of Subaru, Mitsubishi, or even Audi bringing in their four-wheel drives as well. That is the reason why there are no four-wheel drives in the game at all, in this
Precisely.
championship at least. And it looks like we have someone in the pits there. That's the first time I've seen that all season.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, that's not a message you want to see. That's Ingram.
dear.
We've had to retire the car.
Do you want to go down now, or?
Nah, I'll find out after the race. The message I've just got here is apparently someone smacked into us at lap 1 that we didn't see, and it's bent the rear suspension and toe link. Plus, we're having throttle linkage issues, so may as well just bring the car in and try and get it fixed for the next round.
Throughout the weekend, that was the issue.
The throttle linkage thing has been playing us up for most of the weekend, but obviously the bonk on the rear of the car has not helped.
That's unfortunate, man.
What?
And hopefully this doesn't act as a coincidence either. The fact that you're up here not being able to do anything about it.
I think that's just sod's law more than anything else.
Still your top 4, still on screen. Fisichella, Webber
Wow.
down the inside.
Webber has decided he wants to do something about this.
And Salo. Yes. Oh look, change of subject. Battle for the lead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Webber he's slightly quicker than Fisichella in a few places. Again, the BMW has the best brakes on the grid, so he can try and make something work of it. But again, it's the same deal that Whitman had against the Golf in race 1. Is where he can be faster, he doesn't have the room to make anything of it, and all he can do is just watch Fisichella just drive away in, and build too big of a gap before the next braking zone.
BMW clearly got the handling down right, because they're trying to get the dive done before one of the faster sections of the circuit. Power's not there for turn 1. Dumas might be closer than we expected, or maybe not. Suarez closing in. Salo still doing a decent job. Would be really great if he did
close
get
in through this technical section like you wouldn't believe.
Yep, case in point. That's his best sector so far, but not the fastest lap. Still in Wittmann's hands.
I have, in speaking to the drivers over the course of this season, they do prefer this M4 so far because the longer wheelbase is giving it a little bit of stability, which the M2 did not have.
The M2 just had more space to get through.
Yeah.
This is a little bit wider. A little bit wider.
See, Webber's kind of close here, but I don't think he's quite close enough to make a dive into the hairpin, but that doesn't stop him from having a look. Whether he makes anything of it is a different. There you go, backing out of it.
It was going to happen. It was going to happen there, and it did not. And it's still the top 5, top 10 in the same shot, perhaps, but enough of a gap that the top 5 looks cemented on with 3 to go.
Whitman going around the outside of a Golf,
and there's 10th place. Is that going to be a better lap for Wittmann? Doubt it. But let's see what happens. Across the line goes the leaders now.
Made up a position, although Nico Wirtz looks like he might take that back with the extra top speed. No, tucks in.
That hasn't changed.
Thompson
so
trying to
Thompson
get around
the inside of Wickens.
Is that going to cause a freight train for poor old Stewart here? Because there goes Schneider up the inside of him.
And there goes that momentum, unless, hold on a minute. Oh, that was a very wide run from Webber.
Schneider clipped the grass and still managed to make the move work. Meanwhile, Whitman is trying to go around the outside of every front-wheel drive car she goes through.
Well, I think it worked on Lammers there, but not so much on Wickens.
That's fine. She can try that next lap, unless Lammers is having another go. Having a counter-attack. Trying to do a crossover. And there's Schneider on a Honda. Now they've all woken up.
This is where the grip, getting the best out of the tyres.
I think Schneider just got squeezed into the wall ever so slightly there, which is allowing Wickens to come back past her.
Top four are very close. There's still Fisichella, Webber and Dumas though. In fact, wait a minute.
Whitman got into the back of Schneider there, caught her out under braking.
And then it's 2 to go. Cars are going to be a little bit lighter, a lot less grip compared to the start, but
here goes Thompson wanting 5th place.
And no, surprisingly, no bump there. We didn't hear it. Schneider down the inside of Wickens again.
Wickens once again got to be careful he doesn't get freight train because there's a angry Alfa Romeo right behind him. Going around the outside again.
The camber coming up.
Whitman has found some grip and something there. She's found a little trick with this track, clearly.
Not happy with the points for fastest lap. Better points for better finish, please.
Well, yes.
Again,
given her absolutely atrocious Interlagos, which, the less said about it, the better. Meanwhile, Suarez looks like he's holding these two cars up, and they're tripping over each other to try and have a go at him, which is allowing Whitman to just continue marching past everybody.
Almost forcing Schneider into the Armco in the tunnel. That wouldn't have been a good look. Fisichella, Webber and Dumas through the hairpin right now. They were very close on the map, but obviously no read other than that. Suarez and Thompson having a battle. Wittmann closing in. The girl's on a mission.
She is. This is the same angry Sabine we saw in race 1, making up several positions in a couple of laps. Just got held up by the Honda there. Couldn't really do anything about it, and had to kill off the momentum.
And there's
a slight nudge into the hairpin.
That was a definite bump, even if we didn't quite hear it on the onboard.
That's the best kind of bump.
There are better, but anyway. Nobody claiming a better lap than Wittmann with this lap remaining. And it's still Fisichella leading.
Schneider looking a bit racy behind Wittmann, trying all these outside moves that she's just seen Wittmann do on other cars.
Lammer's starting to close in on Wickens. We can see that Suarez is fending off Thompson. Here's the crucial point in the race for Webber, is the move on.
If he wants the lead, he's going to have to do it now. He's not quite close enough.
And it's too late for Dumas, but that's going to be very good for DHL Alpha. Podium once more for them. It's been a while.
It really has.
And a good day for Alpha. And both of them have their first win of the season, however late that might have been. Sala with a fantastic run for 4th. Not bad for Rocky Suarez. That's okay, I suppose, or in German perspective, in Volkswagen's perspective as well. Kamish with a deep, sensible haul of points there, but it looks like, apart from an ailing Mazda, Renault will want to have le word with their le drivers.
I think their drivers are also going to have some choice words for the rest of the team and the team owners, given how those cars have just been not behaving. They started well at the beginning point of the year and have just fallen off a cliff in these last couple of race meetings. They really need to get to grips with that McGann and see what's going wrong with it.
And that is still a bit of a fall, because Ford Performance as a work team are still dead last in the points as a manufacturer team. Renault now 6th. Almost double Ford, but it's not a good look either way you cut that. BMW are still leading the manufacturers. Weber having got all those points in today, is still what looks like he's got 2 race wins almost ahead of Fisichella in second, and Webber's teammate Schneider third. Thompson and Butch are still on decent points. Wittmann is, hold on, maybe just count that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th now in the championship, ahead of Aiello,
Yeah, she
no
jumped up.
less.
She jumped up to 9th place from 12th place with
9th.
that win alone.
Yes, sorry, using the wrong doc. Anyway, and despite appearances, the privateer team championship is still 1 point from the Mazda Swintech and the Tamiya Hondas. 78 points. Thankfully, Tamiya didn't do better by an extra position to be joint leaders of the privateer championship there. But Ingram still leading the privateer drivers by 9 points. We go to Bathurst, which will be your next footage, actually. It's the break in the European Championship. And it's going to be a little bit of a break as we find our bearings. All the teams get their parts back together, do a bit of testing, do a bit of travelling, acclimatise to Bathurst. And we'll see you down under. Good racing, everyone.